Hey everyone, Justin Smith there, the scouting and recruiting analyst for Touchdown Alabama magazine. Thank you guys so much for joining me today on Touchdown Alabama's YouTube page. If you're not subscribed, be sure to hit that subscribe button below. Also, be sure to leave a like whether you are subscribed or not. Today, I am here to break down some breaking news as the Crimson Tide just picked up a verbal commitment from five-star linebacker Shawn Murphy out of Unity Reed High School in Virginia. Murphy becomes Alabama's 12th commit in the 2022 recruiting class, their third linebacker player and the fourth prospect to commit to Alabama this month as the Crimson Tide continue to roll on the recruiting trail during the month of July. Murphy chose Alabama over Ohio State, Penn State, Florida, and LSU. All four of those programs were listed in his final five ahead of his decision on today. Murphy currently stands at 6'2" and weighs 222 pounds, and Alabama has been heavily involved in his recruitment for several years now. They actually offered him when he was a freshman and he weighed 155 pounds. Since then, he has continued to develop his relationship with the Crimson Tide's coaching staff, continuing to develop his body as well as continuing to develop his own field ability. And according to Unity Reed's head football coach, Carol Walker, he described Murphy as an old school linebacker who likes to bring the pain. He is the leader of their defense. He calls out all of the plays for Unity Reed on the defensive side of the football. He knows where everyone needs to line up at, and he's a natural leader. And that is something that should translate to the next level for Murphy, because the Crimson Tide like to rely on their linebackers to call out plays on the defensive side of football as well. So that is something that should go over really well as far as Murphy making the transition from high school football to college football in the future. And he currently stands at 6'2" and weighs 222 pounds, and he is a solid 222 pounds according to Walker. He has continued to hitting the weight room after practice and continuing to develop his body to be a complete linebacker and one of the top linebacker prospects here in this 2022 recruiting class. I will let you guys hear a little bit from Walker a little bit later in this video, but I want to talk a little bit more about Murphy's game first. And I think the biggest thing about his game that really stands out is his mobility. I think his movement is very natural. He can play sideline to sideline. I think he has the potential to be a headhunter at the next level, because once he sees where the ball is going, he attacks it, and he attacks it with a lot of physicality. And as he continues to develop his frame, he is a prospect who I think is going to be able to make some big hits at the next level and lower the boom and continue to bring the pain that Coach Walker talked about. And as far as what he brings to the table, as far as his mobility is concerned as well, I think that is something that is going to help him as he continues to try to get better in pass coverage as well. But I'm going to let you guys hear from Coach Walker.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. He has a niche for the ball, man. The guy can run downhill. He's one of them old school linebacker kids, man. When that snap takes off and he sees that ball, he goes to the football. His ability, man, is just being aggressive, and he knows the game. He calls out the defenses for me as far as being my middle linebacker. He takes control of the game. He knows when people lines up. He brings a lot to the table, man. He can cover gaps, man. He loves it. He just loves to bring the pain to the game, man. And man, it'll be a blessing for him to be in a good situation.
Alabama had an opportunity to see Murphy at camp last month when they hosted him for an unofficial visit. According to Coach Walker, Nick Saban was very impressed with what he saw from Murphy, and he went on to say that he felt after that camp the Crimson Tide would be really happy if they were to eventually get a commitment from Murphy, and that happened today. And I'm pretty sure Alabama's coaching staff is ecstatic to have him on board for this 2022 recruiting class. Alabama's 2022 recruiting class as a whole has built a solid foundation now that Murphy has committed. When you look at the 12 prospects that they have verbal commitments from, they have 4 5-star commits, a couple of 4-star recruits who are currently committed to them, who could see their rating boost to a high 4-star or possibly a 5-star recruit based on how they play during their senior season. In particular, 4-star offensive lineman Tyler Booker out of IMG Academy in Bradenton, Florida. They also have a 3-star commit in Amari Black quarterback who has the potential to have a huge senior season in Florida and could see his rating jump from a 3-star recruit to a 4-star recruit as well. So the Crimson Tide's 2022 recruiting class is off to a great start, and they have an opportunity to continue to get better, especially when we look at positions like the wide receiver position, where Alabama does not have a verbal commitment at the moment. And when you look at their wide receiver recruiting board, they have an opportunity to land some of the top wide receivers in this 2022 recruiting class. We look at guys like Kobe Prentice, Baron Brown, and also Evan Stewart. So the Crimson Tide have a long way to go in this 2022 recruiting class. They are basically at the halfway point in terms of numbers. So I think they have built a solid foundation, and they will continue to recruit some of the top prospects here in this 2022 recruiting class. You guys can check out more coverage from Shawn Murphy's commitment over at touchdownalabama.com, including his recruiting profile. He will be rated as a 5-star recruit on touchdownalabama.com and our own independent recruiting rankings. As always, I am Justin Smith, the scouting and recruiting analyst for Touchdown Alabama Magazine.